So we got IMU takes over GUNKO explain. This is a couple chapters old, but still,
so
y'all don't. I need to see.
1149 of One Piece.
Let me see what he's. Let me see how he's cooking.
Show up at the end of the chapter in elbaf. They're like taking over GUNKO's body. So
yeah, right,
IMU is essentially the final.
Spoilers, by the way. Spoilers, by the way.
He's the shadow leader of the world government, and this is the first time we've ever seen them do anything like this. We didn't even know that they could do this, take over somebody. I mean, I know it's been implied that IMU is giving like the Holy Knights.
Look at IMU! What are you? A bird? She kind of looks like a bird.
And the ability to travel through that teleportation circle abyss. But now it's implied, I guess, that IMU can just take them over as well, or maybe it's just GUNKO specifically, and that's why GUNKO is a holy knight, and we'll get into that because GUNKO's character arc is starting to open up, and we're seeing some of their backstory.
Don't want to wear no clothes for no reason.
Backstory. So we're gonna like fast forward to the ending sequence of this chapter, and this is happening after GUNKO is defeating Scopper. Because once Scopper reaches where GUNKO is holding Colin hostage, he uses like his future sight observation hockey, just how we've seen Shanks, Luffy, Katakuri, and other characters use throughout the series. He's able to see a couple seconds into the future, or maybe even a minute, I don't know, that GUNKO is immediately going to kill Colin before.
This may be the last.
Yo, we are 5 seconds. You gotta shut up. You're 5 seconds in right now.
Before Scopper can make his move and save him. So he just gives up, and then GUNKO just blasts him with her arrows. Scopper's essentially done after that point. But after that, suddenly GUNKO starts to like disassociate. And these like memories are starting to go through her head. And she's like, you know, whose memories are these? So it has to be GUNKO's memories because, you know, it's GUNKO remembering them. But she sees like this woman crying out, and it looks like GUNKO. Especially because at the end of this chapter,
you saw her eye gone?
Is like fully revealed, and she has longer hair than what we thought. Kind of looks like Ginny's hair, although I don't think GUNKO is Ginny. I know that that was a theory that we had talked about before, but it's a person that looks just like GUNKO. We don't see her eyes, but we see like the bottom of her face, which GUNKO's is always covered by the bandages, and this person is screaming out, "Father!" Which we'll go into, because the
that's
next
Brooke. That's our goat, Brooke.
Here is a little girl with Brooke. That's right.
Yeah.
With this little girl who
I just noticed something about elbaf. Hold up. Why is the underworld cold and snowy, but the sun realm sunny and warm? I thought the higher you are, the colder the air gets.
Why not? I mean, maybe it's not GUNKO. Maybe it's GUNKO's daughter.
I think the air just kind of depletes, but the lower you are, the colder it is.
GUNKO having
You're not cooking, buddy.
Relationship to some extent with Brooke, and since we're hearing father being called in this flashback that GUNKO's remembering, it's possible that GUNKO is the daughter of Brooke, which is totally wild. We didn't know that.
That would be crazy.
Have any family like this? He never really talked about it. Now we talked about this.
That would also be sadder that he was by himself for years.
Go into Brooke's backstory, but first let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Black Forest Supplements. So you know, Joe Rogan is known.
I thought the lower you are, the colder the air was.
Quite well health-wise at the tender age.
Whoa!
Take a quick assess bacteria, hungry, and affect. Make a shopping list.
Weight management on using it for a year.
Wait, this video is like 1 minute long.
Straw hats, like once he. Thanks, guys. Is just essentially what he told himself to the Straw Hats, like once he joined the crew.
Wait, I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself sooner. I'm Dead Bones Brooke. I'm a wanted man. My nickname is Humming Swordsman Brooke. I have a bounty of 33 million. That's crazy. Long ago, I was the leader of a battle convoy in a certain kingdom. After that, I served with the Rumbar Pirates as the musician swordsman, and later stepped in as captain. So he kind of clutched up here. Yo, why does Brooke not have like an uncold moment? Like he's literally cold all the time. Maybe it's cause he's undead. Alright, but seriously, let me go over this again. Why is the underworld cold and snowy, but the sun realm sunny and warm? Now, I kind of see what you're saying. Let me actually go over this. This nigga, like, think about hell. Like, it's supposed to be a hellfire. It's supposed to be, like, hot. You know what I mean? Heaven, I feel like it's supposed to feel like nothing, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be cold if I go to heaven. I don't think it's going to be cold. I feel like I'm going to be, like, It's gonna be like perfect temperature. Like I'm gonna be cool. Like I'm gonna feel good. I thought the higher you are, the colder the air gets. Just gotta look that up. If the higher you are, does the air get colder? Oh, yes. As you go higher in altitude, the air generally gets colder. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. He might be cooking.
He said, I'm a wanted man. My nickname is Humming Swordsman Brook. I have a bounty of 33 million berries on my head.
You're
Long
cooking,
ago,
Joel.
I was the leader of a battle convoy in a certain kingdom. After that, I served with the Rumbar pirates as the musician swordsman and later stepped in as captain. So it's possible that this
Went from musician to captain.
Classic Otis speech there. That he was the leader of the battle convoy. This might be where GUNKO comes from. Which may or may not mean that GUNKO is Brook's daughter. Still not sure. I mean, the only thing we can really go off of is the holding hands thing and this woman screaming out father. Whether that's GUNKO or GUNKO's mother still remains to be seen. I mean,
also trying to make him a wave.
GUNKO and Brook had coming into this arc anyway.
Hey, yeah,
we first saw GUNKO listening to Brook's music, and then later once she encountered Brook, she stepped on him and was like, "I want to make you my eternal music slave" or whatever. And interestingly enough, usually when Brook gets into situations like this with women, he asks to see their panties, but he didn't do that with GUNKO. I mean, granted, you can already kind of see them, but still, he didn't ask. You know? So does that mean it's his daughter? I don't know. But at the minimum, they have some history together. And that history is super interesting, aside from all of that, simply because of the fact that it's so long ago, right? Because this had to be like over 50 years ago, because Brook was just chilling in the Florian Triangle, you know, as a skeleton after consuming the soul fruit for 50 years before the...
I feel like it's got to be even like 20 years before that
for
too.
Sure, obviously, many years before that. So
before
there's
that,
something going on with GUNKO. And her screaming out in this flashback could mean that this was the moment when she was taken away by the Celestial Dragons or whatever.
Look at her. Her eye is gone.
For some reason, she was brainwashed, became GUNKO, the Holy Knight, and is seemingly possibly being used as like a vessel for IMU, or a possible vessel for IMU. Maybe that's why she's being used here. Going back to what I said earlier about...
Crazy. I blame King Harold. He janked up Elbaf's environment. I think at that point, Brook should be insane. 50-year alone at sea is crazy. Yeah, I mean, the panties thing is weird, but he's also been deprived. I feel like it's a nigga who's been in jail for 50 years. But at the same time, Brook is pretty sane for a nigga who's been at sea. Like, been at sea. Not just sitting on an island. Been at sea for a while.
That's why she's being used here. Going back to what I said
Brook is really the GOAT. He better get hockey.
The Holy Knights can be taken over by IMU, or it's just GUNKO. Now let's go into IMU taking over GUNKO, because IMU suddenly starts speaking to like the Holy Knights telepathically.
Yeah, like they can also all hear her.
With the Gorosei.
Get your dumb ass out my sight.
Taking so much time.
You're only like 8 feet tall.
Engulfed in flame. We need the military power now. And then IMU takes over GUNKO and says, "I will demonstrate what it means to be ruled by God." So, yeah, pretty crazy development. This is the first time, like I said, we've ever seen IMU do this. And
I feel like it's just weird that IMU
cannot leave Mary Joie or simply cannot go outside.
Got you. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Collab with Psy. We went over the theory that it's...
I was about to say, it makes no sense why IMU is not just out there, like, killing everyone. Like, oh, we got a fire. Like, why is IMU not taking care of it? If IMU's not able to leave, that could make a lot of sense to me. Unless if it's telepathically or some other way. That actually makes sense, bro.
Weakness is sunlight, like vampire style. Maybe even worse than a vampire. Not really sure, but it's possible that whatever's going on with IMU can't go out into the sunlight, and that's why she needs to take over GUNKO here, because otherwise she would have just used the Abyss to teleport there like the Gorosei did, right? Now, not confirmed, and this could just be a way of Oda building up the tension with IMU, not wanting to show this card immediately. I mean, this is already a big deal, IMU coming here, but I think this further points to, IMU can't go out in the sun or something. Now, Imu saying that they're taking so long, that has to do with the Holy Knights trying to convince the Giants to fight for the world government. But apparently they need that, like, now. They need the Giants at Marijuana right now because it is on fire. It's being attacked. I guess it's implied that it's the Revolutionary Army.
It might be Sabo. I never thought about that.
And that's also interesting because it's like, why do they need the Giants that bad? At Marijuana right now, they have the Gorosei, the other Holy Knights. Shamrock should technically be there. And then the Admirals could come there too. Like Akizaru could go there. He's not that far away. And then whoever else they have. So why do they need the Giants that bad? They have more than enough to fight against the Revolutionary Army, unless it's more than that. We still don't know who's attacking it or what's going on, but it makes you wonder, like, they have plenty, but maybe it's not that simple. But now that Imu is taking over GUNKO here, we're seeing, like, Conqueror Hockey Lightning, or maybe even something more than that coming off of GUNKO here.
That Joy Boy hockey
being exposed much longer than what we thought it was, and now GUNKO has Imu's eyes. So what can be done here? Not much. There's only a handful of characters who would be able to deal with something like this.
Gotta get Luffy or Loki.
One of them is already taken
Gaban,
down in Stopper, so I guess it's going to have to be Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. Loki is still injured and recovering. I mean, maybe he could fight for like a minute or two, but I'm thinking like we're going to see Imu just take out a whole bunch of people in the next chapter, maybe giants and whatnot, and then eventually Luffy makes his way to where they are because Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, that whole group, they're not where the Imu GUNKO stuff's going.
Yeah, you got work, bro. You good, bro. You good, bro.
If he gets there, if he does,
all right, have a good night, Joe.
Between Luffy
I appreciate you joining today, bro. Appreciate you talking to you, man.
This would be really cool, and maybe
have a good night, bro. Good luck at work tomorrow.
Power is. Well, not true power, because I doubt Imu can use their Devil Fruit through GUNKO. That would be too busted, and we don't need to see exactly what it is yet. That's going to be a long time before we see what Imu.
Yeah, it's some type of arrow, though.
Whatever it is.
That's the thing, though. It's some type of arrow.
Like Devil Fruit to the fullest extent, and then using Conqueror's Hockey here, which I'm assuming GUNKO didn't have inherently. Maybe Imu could transfer that to GUNKO or something. But yeah, let me know what you think about this chapter in the comments, guys, and if you liked the video, please give it a like.
Alright, if you could give me like 2 or 3 minutes, I'm about to just go off real quick. So yeah, it looks like Imu wasn't able to use like her own Devil Fruit, but she definitely attacked Nefertari, right? With the arrow fruit, some type of arrow fruit. I like this. So first of all, yeah, it's crazy that Imu might not be able to leave. Imu might not be able to leave Mary Joie. But the other thing that I also was concerned about or confused about was like, you too, bro, have a good night. Like, why is Imu not just going there herself? And why do you need help back at Mary Joie, especially if you picked up Shamrock? Like, you have Gorosei, you have Shamrock, and the only thing I could really think about or like explain that is like the last time that Sabo went there and he was able to go see the 5 Gorosei and Imu was that who was there? He was fighting, I think, Green Bull and Fuji. Fuji doesn't really care. Like he's not really here to fight like that. But Green Bull wasn't able to go all out. Like he was told, it's like, yo, don't destroy Mary. Don't destroy Mary Joie. Like you need to keep it intact. So they can't go all out. They're told that they cannot go all out there. But I'm also confused. I'm like, why don't you bring back another Holy Knight? You only need Shamrock for this problem? Figure out like Shamrock? But I'm like, bring out the Gorosei. Just have them fight regularly. I've seen them pop heads, and that's the weakest one. He's popping heads. So I don't get it, chat. I can't wait for them to really reveal what's going on. I really can't wait. It's gonna be fire. Alright, chat, I'm actually getting off for the night, bro. Thank y'all for joining. I'm gonna upload one of the videos tomorrow. I made that a little earlier. And then this one I'm gonna upload on Wednesday. Oh yeah, one more thing actually, before we go. So he made this like a month ago, and they dropped 2 or 3 chapters since then. And GUNKO has wreaked havoc, and they really are trying to get the little kid giants to go join them and go fight for them. And I think that they're gonna use them as soldiers, but it's crazy. Because Imu was also able to change a lot of the giants that I don't think had a mark on them, like no tattoos or anything, into devils. So it's wild. I really don't get how she's doing this. We need the explanation. We don't need it right now, but when the explanation comes, it's gotta make sense. I know Oda's gonna cook, so I'm not really worried. Alright, that's it, chat. Everybody have a good night. Great stream today. Fantastic stream. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.